Good morning and welcome to Wednesday. Technically, it's Other Worlds Wednesday. I should have a video up about something for role playing games, but I'm behind. So I figured, you know what? I need to do some painting. For some reason, I have been exhausted all night long, but come 8:30 this morning, I'm wide awake. So here I am. And we're going to do some painting. Good morning, Ogre. How are you, sir? Hope you've been well. You know what? I'm just going to kind of jump into it. We'll see where the morning goes. Oh, I should probably turn the camera on. That might be helpful. We'll wait for that to kick off. Always something. Good morning, Hungar. Good. I'm glad you're hanging on, Ogre. All right, and then we gotta fix it because for some reason it never looks right. There we go. Anyhow, so I suppose I should probably get my paint too. All right, folks. I apologize. I am a mess. What? Hungar? You are kind and accurate, sir. Anyhow, thank you very much, Hungar. I appreciate it. Let's see here. I need to find my colors that I was using. I gotta say, I had a fantastic time on Monday. We had conversation covering all sorts of topics, but we got to talk about a lot of role-playing stuff, so I really, really enjoyed that. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna need some browns, some blues, and where's that green? All right, green. There's a lot of capes, and so I'm gonna paint capes different colors to kind of differentiate the different types of skeletons that we have available. Let's see here. Actually, and a little bit of gray. This bright, warm gray. Anyhow, man, I got nothing this morning. Let's see. Let's come up with a topic. Actually, is there even anything going on in the world of gaming today? I mean, I realize it's Wednesday. I mean, no big new releases. Also got boots to paint. So yeah, that was kind of a big deal. The Star Trek second edition got announced, which obviously I am a tad concerned with, because we're playing Star Trek. I mean, I honestly don't think it will actually impact our game very much, because, I mean, number one, Bear runs it kind of fast and loose, but I mean, that's not really a problem in my mind, because we are doing it on a stream, so there's an audience that you have to keep entertained. There's a 2-hour time window, so do you really want to get stuck into highly detailed combat? So I kind of even wonder how much of second edition we'd even use. Heck, I kind of wonder how much of first edition we're using. But regardless, I mean, it's still kind of crazy. Like if you think about it, like, say, like textbooks. When textbooks put out new editions, maybe it's like a supplemental chapter at the end, or it's a those guys are going to be a pain for me. So like a supplemental chapter at the end, or a like a few revisions. Well, I'm strictly talking about the role-playing game Ogre. The nice thing about that is you can go there, you can ignore whatever bits of canon you want. So there's some good new stuff. I'll be honest, I didn't think I would be, but I am actually a big fan of Lower Decks. I actually think they pulled it off really well. Hey, Michael Chad. Good morning, sir. And I'll also admit, I'm not sure if you were there for that stream with the writers of Star Trek. The Lower Decks source book, like, kind of changed my mind on some of those other source books, like Discovery. I cannot. Speaking of, the Orville is some fantastic Star Trek. Like, why they didn't let Seth MacFarlane do a Trek show, I have no idea. Like, I think the Orville is like a nice middle ground between Lower Decks and a regular Trek show. Like, it's much lighter on the comedy than you see with Lower Decks. but it's still there and quite obvious. But it's also a bit more serious in the storylines than you get with Lower Decks. And that's not even me trying to bash on Lower Decks. I'm with you, Michael Chad. I was not expecting to, but Lower Decks was absolutely surprising, and the way that Michael Dismuke wrote the Lower Decks source book for Star Trek Adventures was super surprising. It actually made me willing to look at like the Discovery source book, or some source books for series that I wouldn't necessarily care for, just because of how well they did the Lower Decks book. So there's that. And yeah, it is sort of a lighthearted spoon. Like, I kind of equated it to like MASH. Bear did not like my comparison. I thought it worked really well. Because MASH, you're dealing with serious subjects, an actual real event, and so and so I look at Lower Decks sort of the same way. It's not too serious, and it's dealing with the okay, I forget what I was saying. All right, the tired is probably catching up. I don't know how long this is going to last today. But yeah, I don't, it's like, I look at it sort of like the events happened, but not necessarily in the way that they are portrayed. Like, what would be a good example? like just like any other like historical documentary. Yeah, Band of Brothers, for instance, because that just, I don't know why that jumped in my head. I probably watched something from World War II. Actually, I always like see World War II stuff come through my timeline. But like Band of Brothers, it's based on real people and real events, but names and places are consolidated or adjusted to facilitate storytelling. And so that's how I look at Lower Decks, is sort of the same thing. It's not completely accurate, but it's close enough for a comedic dramatization. And while Caffeine does not quite hit me the same way, I am going to skip because once I'm feeling tired enough, like this stream is literally just gonna go. I'm not promising 2 hours like I normally do. Just enough to get some of this work done, because I am rapidly running out of days before the convention. But yeah, even then, to kind of keep going on that, like I still, if I were running a Star Trek game, I still wouldn't consider Discovery part of established canon. Basically, like anything that takes place after the end of Voyager is not canon in my head. Even Voyager, I could probably get rid of some of it. But then also along the same lines, Star Wars canon, like Disney Star Wars is alternate universe. The novels, I would consider a lot of the pre-Disney novels canon. But that's also why, like, the Star Wars game that I'm working on is going to be set in technically Rebellion era, post Revenge of the Sith.
So, yeah, and I agree. I mean, whether it's like even Mandalorian, like at least for season 1 and 2 when it was good, I'd actually still consider that fanfic. Because like it was good, but I think it's we also have the bar set so very low. Because of the sequel novels. But then they also did, like, again, Mandalorian was fine. I think we all just had so much bad Star Wars that it was like, oh, hey, this is not horrible. So we were excited. But then they do stuff like Book of Boba Fett. But they'd already essentially made the Mandalorian Boba Fett. And so then they had to come up with a different way to portray Boba Fett, which didn't see, like, I couldn't even watch that. Rogue One was fun. It actually does have some problems. Somebody actually brought up a really, really good point. Which is fine. It doesn't ruin Rogue One, but it does make you kind of think. And it's more, in my opinion, it's more of an indictment of the writers. That's the worst. Oh my gosh, so many of the writers are just not very good. I'm not any better. They're better than me. But just compared, so like somebody brought up a point about Rogue One. So they're making the point about how they have to get the Death Star plans because the guy that built it built a weakness into it that the Empire didn't know about, and if they can get it to the rebels, then the rebels can blow it up. Whereas in the original Star Wars, it was just, hey, we managed to get the plans, and after careful analysis, we think this weakness will allow us to destroy it. And then, because then the point that they were making is, if you think about the trench run on the Death Star, if he had truly planned in the weakness, Galen Erso wouldn't have designed all of the defenses along the trench. We're like, oh, these are superfluous. We don't need these because no one's ever going to find this weakness. But no, they had built all of the defenses. There's the defenses in the trench. There's the defenses outside of the, like, everything protecting the trench because they know there's this weakness there. And so I do think that is a problem with the story, in that that it's not, or that if they had just but they tried to rewrite it to make this cool, sympathetic character that happens to be working for the Empire. No, he hates what they're doing, so he built this weakness into the super weapon. So I prefer that explanation. I still think Rogue One is a decent film. It's fun, it's enjoyable. But it is interesting when you see people, come up with explanations like that. But yeah, like, Gina Carano absolutely did dirty. I will be honest, I don't think the lawsuit will go anywhere. Nick Rekieta actually had a really, really good breakdown of the lawsuit. And he brought up things that he thinks. I mean, now, like, no lawsuit survives contact with the court. I mean, there's that to keep in mind. So it could absolutely go either way. But I've also seen enough of these things that, like, I'll be happy for her if she wins, but I am not getting my hopes up. But we'll see. But yeah, but Solo was a decent movie. I do like the Honest trailer that came out for that. If you haven't seen it, you really should go check it out. Basically, the Honest trailer, it's the story of, hey, Stephen Cross, good morning. It's the story of how Han Solo got all of his stuff, how he got his blaster, how he got his fuzzy dice, how he got blah blah blah. And then when you watch the movie, you're just like, oh yeah, it totally is that. Which is fine. It's like I said, it's a decent movie. It's got Woody Harrelson. I actually like Woody Harrelson as an actor. I don't really watch much of his stuff because usually he does stuff that I don't want to watch. But I still think he's a decent actor. So, anyhow.
So what is everyone else up to today? Just bored at work, so you figured you'd toss on YouTube to see what was happening? I am really not going to have these these undead very colorful. To watch Zombieland, but that's also partly that's more because I don't like gross. And most zombie movies get into the gross category. I mean, for obvious reasons. I should also read the rules for this game, but technically I'm going to be running demos of Dead Zone, not Dungeon Saga. So I can let my friend who's going to help me with the demo table, I'll let him focus on learning the Dungeon Saga rules. I'll just have it painted for him. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I just struggle with most zombie / horror / anything kind of in that genre in general, just because I don't do gross out, and so I'm just naturally averse to it. Because even though you say, oh, it wasn't that much, it wasn't that gross, doesn't mean it wasn't gross in parts. I mean, if you're going to do a zombie movie without the giant, head, splat, I mean, is it really a zombie movie at that point?
I mean, not that that's all that you would do. Just saying that, like, if you're doing a zombie movie, I think you have to have at least one head splat. Giant head, oh my. Because or you just think the skeleton has a giant head? Or is it my giant head? Any brain matter in there? There probably was, but these are mostly skeletons. There's probably some like in the zombies. The skeletons would be more of remnant of brain matter. Making very weird Sinbad in the Seven Seas. It's fair. I'm just trying to mix it up, get some color in. That way they're more than just gray blobs on the table. Sure, and that's fine. I mean, like, a zombie movie isn't really about the zombies. It's like saying, you know, a survival movie is about the snow. You know, it's the zombies are just kind of they're set dressing. They're part of the MacGuffin. You know, for whatever it is the protagonists are trying to do. They're trying to find a cure. They're trying to find a safe place to live, you know, whatever it is, because you don't talk to the zombies. You don't reason with the zombies. It's like for all intents and purposes, the zombie could be the equivalent, going back to my previous kind of joking example. The zombies or the undead could be the equivalent of a snowstorm. As far as what's happening in the movie. So it's like they're always about the characters and what do they do in this situation where they're dead or they have to survive. They have to get to the place, wherever the place may be. Or get away from. Yeah, exactly. Right. They are wild animals. I'm just saying you can use them, like wild animals. Wild animals are part of the environment. There. That's what I was trying to say. So yeah, if you're doing a zombie flick and you're not exploring the characters and how they relate to each other or how they're going to survive, then I don't know what kind of movie it is, but it ain't a zombie movie. I actually am kind of liking how these are coming out. I realize I'm just going with pretty simple paint jobs, and I realize I haven't washed any of it yet. But I think it's going to be good for just being able to play with on the table. Apparently, I might be going to Branson. I don't know. My mother turns 80 this year. So my siblings are deciding that we should do something with my parents. Which I'm not really opposed to, except for the fact that Kim and I have already scheduled a cruise with my parents for the end of April. And so I'm not even sure that we could take another trip. I don't know. And while I am not claiming to be impoverished, we do okay. I'm also not at the level of disposable income as my lawyer brother, my real estate sister, my insurance salesman brother, and my stay-at-home wife of an engineer sister. I think that's Missouri, but literally, they just started the text messages saying, "Hey, we should do this." And I was like, "Hey, we're already going on a cruise. Why don't we just do that?" And then everyone's like, "Bah, we can't do that. Let's do this other thing later." Like a month later. And this is like, I'm not sure I can afford that. I mean, personally, I think Mom would just be happy to have everyone show up. But no, apparently we have to make it a spectacle. Well, if I come that way, Dr. Death, I will be sure to let you know. If we did it, it would be the end of May. But like I said, my siblings are just now beginning the planning stages. So we'll see. That reminds me, I need to put a banner together and send it off to my friend who can print it for me. Still cold in May. Like, it'll be over 100 here sometime in March, probably. So if the rest of you were going to take your mother to do something for her 80th birthday, what would you do? Like, that's kind of the annoying thing about this, is it's just a, hey, let's go to this place. Okay, and what do we do when we get to said place? And no one has any ideas. Dr. Death would just come to Arizona for his mother's birthday. Right? Like, I would say, oh, well, my parents, my parents are going on the cruise. They're not going to want to go on another trip. They're in their 80s. They don't care. They'll go wherever, whenever. Oh, you go to Arizona for your mother's birthday and not bring her along. Okay. I mean, the assumption was that you were in take her to main event. Main event is definitely not my mom's cup of tea, as it were. I love when I get ready to paint another color and it's like, oh wait, I missed a spot and I should really touch that up before I forget about it. Take her to a truck pull. I mean, they probably do have truck pulls in Arizona somewhere. Dang it, now I have to look it up. Truck pull Arizona. Arizona truck and tractor pulling. Has not posted since May of last year. That doesn't count. UnitedPuller.com. Events. Let's try the... Ow! Lame.
Arizona man just released from prison steals truck hauling Corvettes because he needed a ride home. Good morning, Mundo. Good morning, Curtis. So I guess the closest would be Wilcox, Arizona in October for a truck pull. So short answer, I don't think that's happening. Take her. My mom is not a bingo person. Although I applaud the suggestion. Snotgoblingaming.com. All right, give me a second. I'm feeling a little distractible, so let me put a little more paint on this skeleton's rotting shirt. And we'll check it out real quick. Apparently they just did a Kickstarter. Oh, the Kickstarter's going right now. So let's see. Here, let me. No, Kickstarter's still going. Here we go. All right. So, yeah, 21 days to go. Future-proof modular terrain. Think Lego, but for wargaming. So we've got those. Looks like these are all of the parts. So then obviously you can put it in as many configurations as you want. Decent setup. Is this the real question is okay, so this is pre-made. Yeah, this is very similar to like Warlock tiles or Dungeon tiles, but it's pre-made. In fact, what I'm actually looking at, and this I am running out of time on, is this. So Grid City. Now the catch to these, so you get, so number one, it's 3D printable, which lately that's kind of what I'm going for this kind of stuff, for like accessories, for who's the things, terrain. I'm definitely going 3D printing because I get more flexibility. I can print off what I want. I'm not stuck within a particular kit. Anyways, but the other advantage to this stuff, so there's a couple things going on here. Number one, nice cyberpunk vibe to it. So very, very happy there. Number two, it's the blue pieces. So they've got some other pieces that it's compatible with. But the biggest key right here, based on a 3-inch grid system. So I know I haven't covered it like at all. But Dead Zone from Mantic works on a 3-inch cube. So to be able to have this stuff that is already 3-inch cube, so we've got a single cube, double, L, S, quad, already based on a 3x3 cube. That's actually perfect for me. Then you've got obviously lots of extra designs, rooftops. So I'm actually like, and it's about $50. $50 and I can print off everything I want. Like they've also got this where I guess you can design your own stuff. I'm not gonna get that, but it's an extra add-on. But I mean, regardless, like this terrain set, I'm probably gonna do it because it's compatible with Dead Zone. I think it would look really good with Cyberpunk. I think I would get a lot more flexibility out of it than I would get with the other. The other one looks good, but the fact that, you know, they're sending it off for manufacturing kind of kills any interest for me, because then that means I'm locked into whatever they think is relevant to the kit. Whereas with modular 3D print, I can get if I need a roof, or I need, like, I want to add one extra level, then I can do that. I don't have to buy a whole other kit. And I've got the printers to make it with. So yeah, Mundo, I'm probably gonna do the one that I just showed off. I still owe you some printing anyways. So yeah, so I'll get that one. And then the downside is April. Depends on when in April you would need it by. I might not have it ready. I know that the stuff you sent me is definitely not going to be, you won't have that by April, like I said, because they're sending it off for traditional manufacture. So anyhow, but depending on when in April, because the Grid City is supposed to just deliver in March. They've also unlocked a lot of extra stuff. Where is it? Where's the part about delivery? Because I believe the files are already done. It does not say. All right, cool. Thank you. But a lot of 3D printer Kickstarters will deliver pretty quick because usually the files are done, so they just need to upload them and say, "All right, go nuts." Yes, ma'am.
I messed up my computer. I need an IT person to fix it.
Well, your IT person is currently streaming.
Why do you have to be a YouTube person now?
Um,
Are you supposed to be my IT or on-demand IT?
Yes, but I'm trying to get some painting done. Yeah, exactly, Curtis. Uh-oh.
Ding.
Dungeon Saga for Dice Tower.
Got it. An undead army.
Yes.
Okay. I think I just jiggled the cord. Basically, my screen is only my laptop and my other two monitors are not.
All right, check your cords and I'll be back, or I'll be up in a minute. Good morning, Curtis. How is DJ Curtis T? I don't know. Don't listen to me, folks. I've been up all night. I aggroed the triple crossbows rare spawn raid boss. Yes, I did. Actually, it's not so much that I aggroed her, it's that she messed up the work computer. So all of her screens aren't displaying properly. So well, that's good to hear. So since I am the resident IT expert, she was hoping I would be able to troubleshoot it right away, but unfortunately for her, I'm here with you people. Actually, I think I'm finally slowing down. I don't know what WinP does, so I'm not gonna do it. What was the problem?
There was an unplugged cord that I didn't see until I got underneath my desk.
Yep, she unplugged a cord. Good troubleshooting. See, it's fine that I'm not in bed because clearly it's race car day out on the street. I can't turn it off and on if it's not plugged in. Exactly. Curtis, I'd probably send you into a fit if you looked at the cable management for my desk. It's kind of gross. Who knows? Maybe if I get to do my painting desk upgrade, I'll finally get around to doing cable management. I probably won't, but it's you know. Define regularly dusted. I mean, I vacuumed a couple of months ago. And I live in Arizona, so there's usually not mold. Exactly, Curtis. It's a nice thought. Yeah, the main thing that I'm concerned about with the paint table upgrade is that I want it wider. But I'm not sure I have the room to actually make it wider. Because essentially I want it. So like the pegboard that I want to get, it's like it's like 4 feet wide. And no, I'm going to Ice Juno. Welcome, by the way. I have never met you. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been lurking for a while, also welcome for showing up. If I should know who you are, I apologize. So I will, but part of the reason for the paint desk upgrade is so this area right now I have about a foot by a foot and a half. And oh, well, good morning. Welcome here. I cover all sorts of tabletop gaming content, board games, miniatures, role-playing. If it's on the table, I usually will talk about it. Sometimes I'll talk about other things. You know, just depends on what's in the mood. It's called Gaming with ADHD for a reason, and that reason is that I will end up talking about whatever. So anyway, I want this direction to give me about 2 feet of space. And I want this direction to give me about 3 feet of space. Because I want to be able to put board game table or board game boards on the table and be able to see the whole thing. So that's why I have to build out and across. Now, keep in mind, I do not have a fancy desk. I built it out of 2x4s and plywood. And it works great. It works exactly for what I want. Well, let me rephrase that. It doesn't work exactly like I want. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about upgrading it. But for the time when I built it, it was working. It's worked very well. And so now it's just there's some things that I want to do on the channel. I want to be able to cover things. Sometimes like if I'm trying to do an unboxing, I don't have room for stuff. And so I just want it to look right. Because then also the other thing to consider is that I work out of the living room, but the living room is also in use by the family. So I can't just take whatever space that I want. I mean, yes, I realize I'm dad and technically I can, but that's just not cool, especially since my board games and my miniatures kind of own the house anyways. So anyways, that's the plan, is make a wider table for the painting desk, put pegboard in front of me, which the pegboard, that actually can be kind of cool too, because it has it actually comes with monitor mounts. And so I'm actually thinking about getting it doesn't have to be big. Get just a tiny little, maybe a 15-inch flat screen monitor. Ooh, now I'm ADHD for the win. Amazon 15-inch monitor. Do they still make them? Do they make them smaller? Like they make portable ones? Up to 13.9 inches. $10-inch monitor. There we go. Right, so the pegboard that I've picked out already has the monitor mounts with it. But that's the thing, is I have monitor here, I have monitor here, and then monitor and camera over here. And then I have top-down camera here, and lights, and so that's the thing. So then I could put a little monitor here, so I could just look up and be able to see the chat or something. So So I could just put like a little over there. So anyhow,
Ooh. This is coming together. I am kind of excited about this.
but yeah, no, it's got like a rail with actual monitor mounts on it. And so that's what I would go with for that. All right. I'm going to call the skeletons done. The other guys are absolutely not done. But, oh, you know what? But I think these are at a point where I can put a wash on them. And call it good. Remember, folks, I'm not going for like these are not to win any sort of competition. This is, I want paint on the models so that they look good during the convention. Where's my strong tone? Strong tone. All right. So we're going to wash these and then I'm going to go to bed because it's already 10 o'clock. I should have been in bed hours ago, but my sleep's been all messed up. Oh, I'm so excited to take a couple weeks off. Anyways, so let me just address a couple of things, what we're going to do over the next couple of days. So first off, I will try to have a role-playing game video up to date. Don't quote me on it, because I haven't really prepped anything, so it'll just kind of be like, hey, let's do something. Yes, I'm going to Dice Tower West Ice Juno next week, Las Vegas. If you're there, find me and say hi. And I also help out Mantic Games at various conventions. And so even though this is technically a vacation for me, so I'm not going to run demos the whole time, I figure, you know what? I might as well earn some credit from Mantic, show off games that I like anyways. And so I'm prepping these so that it's not just raw plastic on the table. I've also gotten to the point where it's like, you know what? I paint enough. I can paint the miniatures for the board game that I'm going to play. If they're detailed like this. Like Risk miniatures. I'm not painting those. But Dungeon Saga, Hellboy, Walking Dead. I'll paint those up. Anyways, so yeah, we'll get a wash on these guys, and then by the time I come back to them, they will be dry. Let's see, tonight should be the Four Color Cafe, officially hosted by Bear, but I should be simul streaming it over here. So if you want to watch it here, that's fine too. Sometimes Bear turns on simul streaming, sometimes he does not. Anyways, but Bear is getting ready to launch his heroic superhero role-playing game. And so tonight for the Four Color Cafe, we're going to have a, hey Bear, sell us on heroic. It's based on, I know it's based on Marvel superheroes from the 80s. Set in the Zenith universe. But I don't know anything about the game. So I kind of threw out there to the group, you know, let's do a Bear sells us on heroic. Oh, I just realized I didn't paint the arrows. I'll paint those later. After the wash is dry. So we should be doing that tonight. Tomorrow is, well, it was supposed to be Cody's fantasy game, but he's actually got something else going on. I have a friend in town, so I'm going to go meet up with him. So probably nothing tomorrow. Friday. So Friday, I will be doing the paint stream to paint up Mundo's figure. She's ready to go. She's primed. I do need to get the Zenithal highlight on her. Because I'm going to try some new techniques. But so we'll definitely do that. And then Friday evening, Bear is going to launch the backer kit crowdfunding. So he's skipping Kickstarter. He's not going to Kickstarter. He's just going straight to backer kit. To actually get the funding, because he's got to pay people who have been helping him write, people who have been helping him edit. He wants to get more art for the book. So he only needs like $10,000. Obviously, I'm not paying for all of it. But I'll be supporting that. I'll be on the stream with him to launch it. Still got things to do, so I might not be able to be on the stream the whole time, but I'll at least be there during kickoff. And there we go. Look at that. So that is going to be Friday evening. Most likely will not be simulcast, but I'm going to talk to him about simulcasting it so we can get some extra traction. Because I want my friends to succeed is the short answer. We don't always see succeeding the exact same way. Good morning from the hilt. But I will do what I can to help with that. All right. So on that note, it is now 10 o'clock. I've only really had 2 hours of sleep. So Christopher, I'm very sorry that you just showed up and I'm going to be ending it. But don't forget, so if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. If you are returning, hit the like button. Regardless, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening to me just kind of ramble as I get some paint on some miniatures. At this point, got a couple little touch-ups, but I can say that I've got 9 out of the lots of miniatures put together. But otherwise, guys, go have a good rest of your day. Enjoy yourselves, and we will talk to you. You know what? Let me actually link to that. That is, I believe that's where we'll have it. Worst case scenario, Ice Juno, check back on Friday and I will at least have a community post. Because Bear's got a couple of channels. So if it's not that one, I'll have it linked over to the proper one. But we might just be co-streaming it as well. So we'll figure it out. Worst case scenario, like I said, stop by here on Friday and we'll go from there. But anyways, other than that, folks, have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time.